So
fuck you.
I forced the boys to read Domestic Girlfriend.
I went out of my way. When the day we decided that I had to read Domestic Girlfriend, I was like, you know what? I'm committed to this. I'm going to go out and buy the physicals.
Yeah.
I went to 4 different book offs. Couldn't fucking find it. Finally found it the next day at a 5th book off. So I bought the physical books for this. So I was reading the physicals. So you won't actually see what I am reading.
Yeah.
Because I'm just looking down the whole time. But every now and then I'll show a page.
Yeah, that's my facial
Yeah.
reaction.
And okay, look, so had you watched the anime at all?
No.
Okay, so I had seen the first 3 episodes.
Oh,
of the
I
anime.
don't know anything about this.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had watched the first 3 episodes of the anime, which covers up until basically a little bit into volume 2. So I knew. So volume 1, I was kind of just refreshing myself, and then from volume 2 onwards was all new territory for me.
Yeah.
But man, this is one of those series where at the end of every single chapter, I just went, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. I think I said what the fuck like 500 times.
Yeah, just every single chapter, there's just something. And also, oh wow, nice frame.
Oh, nice frame.
Yeah, right? There's so many titties in this shit.
Yeah, there are titties.
Also,
this-
okay, here's my question for you, Gon.
Okay.
Am I supposed to be able to take this story seriously?
No.
Okay, good,
this-
because I didn't.
Okay, you the best way I can describe this is it is just the like in terms of like plot progression, just like the biggest fucking car crash you've ever seen in your life. It is basically like every soap opera on crack.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
like whenever there was like a soap opera like twist moment in the story, it was so incredibly cliche that I just was like, come the fuck on.
Yeah, it was pissing me off.
It was pissing me off.
It was I got genuinely pissed off.
Yeah. I was like, this was such an...
Question, do you like this?
Yeah.
Why? Why do you like this?
Just because it's just
What on earth would you like about
Do you like it? Okay, here's a follow-up question. Do you like it unironically? Or do you like it because of the fact that it's ridiculous?
I like it unironically because of the fact that it is just a roller coaster of just some of like the wildest fucking shit you can find in like just like romance and in the romance and dramas genre.
Yeah.
And then, you guys probably didn't get to this point, but, later on, there is some genuinely good character writing in the manga, at least, but that doesn't come until, like, way later on after there's already been, like, 10 million car crashes.
See, I bought the first 4 volumes.
Yeah.
I couldn't get past volume 2.
Dude, this is like School Days like 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Nah, this is better than School Days, man.
Bro.
This is better than School
Why
Days.
can he just not stop fucking everyone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why does he want to kiss everyone?
So do you want to explain what you guys read?
Okay. So the premise is it starts off with our main character, Natsuo.
Yeah.
Literally first page of chapter 1, he's just finished having sex with a girl of the same age called Rui. It backtracks. He meets this girl at like some kind of like party, I guess, kind of like karaoke party type of thing, where she doesn't want to be there. He's kind of like, yeah, this party's kind of lame. And then Rui goes, do you want to like just get out of here? And the guy was like, okay, sure. I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder, I might be able to smash, but that won't happen. That's so cliche. That's exactly what happens. Because she's like, I want to experience having sex. And you've never experienced it, so, fair game.
Yeah.
So that happens. Meanwhile, Natsuo, our main character, is in love with one of the teachers at his school, but obviously can't muster up the energy or the courage to confess. So it's like, okay, that's kind of cute. Whatever. We've seen that in anime hundreds of times. Meanwhile, as all of that is happening, Natsuo's mother has been dead for the past 10 years, and his dad is like, I'm thinking to get remarried. And Natsuo's like, yeah, all right, sure. Whatever, Dad, go for it. My mom's been dead for a while. You deserve happiness as well. All good. And then his dad's like, okay, thank God. Because the new, the woman I'm seeing right now, as well as her 2 children, are going to come and visit. Turns out those 2 children are the teacher that Natsuo has a mad crush on, and Rui, the girl he just fucked yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, they really set up the car crash right from the get.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I could see why you liked it, because it was just a fucking mess.
Yeah.
This is my 90-Day Fiance. You know what I mean? Where you're
Milf manner.
yeah, you know, where you're watching these characters go through a situation that clearly is not going to work, but you kind of
They're all just the worst.
They are all terrible.
But you're just so morbidly curious to see just how far will this go, and it just every chapter you end it and you're like, holy fuck.
It wasn't holy fuck. It was what the fuck.
yeah. So what were some moments that got you to go, what the fuck?
Okay, so for one, the one that just made me go, come the fuck on, was when Natsuo and Rui finds out that Hina, the teacher character, it has been in a relationship with a man who has been cheating on his wife.
Oh,
yeah.
Forgot about that.
Who I guess is a teacher that Hina used to have.
You're like, what the fuck?
So it's like the cycle continues.
Yeah.
And then Natsuo and Rui are like not cool with it, being like, what the fuck? You know, that's kind of fucked up. We need to get her. Well, Rui is like, well, I don't want to see my sister get hurt.
Yeah.
And Natsuo is like, I don't want to get cocked. So he's like, let's like stalk her and then confront them when they finally meet up.
Yeah.
They finally do, and they're sitting in this cafe, and then they're trying to talk it out, and the guy's like, no, I want to make sure that Hina is the happiest woman in the world. And then the part that made me go, come the fuck on, was when Rui just throws the water on him and then runs out, and I'm like, could you be any more fucking cliche?
Yeah.
And then Natsuo like runs after her and then embraces her, and that's the end of the chapter. I'm like, what the fuck?
It was so calm. And then he was like, he was acting like he was her dad, being like, you can't do this.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, you're literally a kid.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
It's like, just because you're getting cocked does not mean you have the right to say all of this. And then for some reason in the next chapter, they like wake up and they have a really awkward breakfast. And then Hina's like, I've decided to split up with him. I'm like, that worked?
yeah.
You didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Oh my
The part that
God.
made me go, oh, for fuck's sake, was
Yeah.
when they're like, this new Momo character gets introduced.
Oh, Momo,
Dude,
yeah.
This whole thing was like pulling my hair out anger. So, you know, not only has he fucked his stepsister, he's literally the chapter before this, he goes on a vacation essentially with his teacher stepsister, and they like embrace each other in the ocean and be like, I love you, we should date. And they're like, yeah, this is so real. And then literally the next chapter, this new girl called Momo gets introduced, and this guy goes, yeah, she's the school whore.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right. And you're like, well, there's no way that the main guy, I forgot his name.
Natsuo.
There's no way that Natsuo will just have proclaimed his love for this woman and has finally got what he wanted, and then immediately go on a date with her. And that's, of course, what he does.
Yeah.
Because she asks him out on the date immediately. And he's like, okay, sure. So they go to his house. And then, but the one thing that made me go, oh, fuck off, was when they're talking and he's like, oh, so how many guys you been with? Bear in mind, they're in like high school. She goes, like 30. I was like, oh my, 30. Name 30 people. I don't even know 30 people. What the fuck?
I didn't even have 30 classmates.
Yeah, but I have how did you fuck 30 people? Explain to me how you fucked 30 people. Explain the mechanics. I don't believe it. 10, I would have been like, wow, okay, that's quite the... 30. What, you lost 15 or 16, I don't know. No way. So I was like,
no, and then when all of that is happening as well, all of that is happening in the background of this Momo girl, like slowly starting to fall in love with Natsuo because he's a nice guy who doesn't judge the fact that I'm a whore.
Although that
somehow
she has scars, and he's like so impressed that he doesn't like viscerally jump away.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah, and then so she's like she says to Rui, who I guess she befriends, is like, oh, does Natsuo-kun have a boyfriend? And Rui's like, a girlfriend? And he's like, no, I don't think so. And then he's like, oh, okay, I might advance on him then. And then Rui starts to get jealous.
Yeah.
I'm like, I thought you were the one who was like, oh, let's forget about the fact we ever had sex. And then suddenly you turn around, you're like, no, actually, that's my man.
So yeah, and then she's like, can we just kiss?
Yeah.
And then he's like, all right. And he's like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Wait, is that the one where Hina catches them kissing as
Yes.
well?
Yes. You're like, she's like, can we kiss? He's like, all right. And you're like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
And then where I was like, all right, I've had enough, was the chapter ended with I guess Momo was like giving Natsuo like lunch or something, and is like really starting to be like, oh my god, this man is a real fucking Chad, and I love him, and blah blah blah. Literally ends with like Momo being like, you want to have sex?
Yeah, and then I kept reading after that.
Okay, I didn't.
He goes over to her house, and she immediately is like, let's fuck. And he's like, all right. And you're like, why? Stop. And then he's about to have sex, and then she has scars, and he like doesn't recoil in disgust, and she's like so impressed by it. And he's like, put your clothes back on. I'm gonna make you a meal. And you're like this isn't noble. This is nothing noble about it. You're not a savior. And then she, for some reason, is infatuated by this. But you're thinking to yourself, like, okay, you know, I can't suspend my disbelief this much, because in the real world, this guy would be the biggest piece of shit that no one would be around. So, you know, and then you're like, okay, well, that's ridiculous. At least he didn't fuck her. You know, there's at least one grain of salt that's like, okay, thank God. Yeah. Immediately, next chapter, they introduce a new girl. Yep. And you're like, what is this? What is this?
Wait, which is the new girl?
The literature club.
Oh,
girl, who's like, and the guy's like, you guys should kiss for literature. She's like, all right. And he's like, nah, I don't want to do that. And you're like, oh, come on. Oh, come on. I was just getting, oh my God. It pissed me off. Everything pissed me off. And I kept reading until they went to like the festival where they like, I guess I sped run this part because I was so tired of this bullshit.
Yeah.
That they were like, well, I guess, you know, I don't really feel like I like you anymore. This is Momo to him. Yeah. She's like, nah, it'll be all right. She's like, I guess so. And you're like, what?
Just every character.
Stop fucking everyone.
Yeah, the thing that annoyed the shit out of me, and that I'm genuinely baffled of the fact that you of all people rate, is the fact that like every single character, every single thing they say and
the dumbest thing possible.
Is the dumbest thing
Everything
possible.
is the dumbest thing
It's
possible.
like none of it makes any... If you had even half a brain cell in your head, you would not say or do half the shit that these characters do and say.
It's like, the thing I do like about it is that it has just like the most like ridiculous plot progression you can think of. I mean, it's...
But that's why I find it hard to take seriously.
Yeah, I mean... Take in mind, like, you don't take this seriously, you know? I mean, this is a series that starts off with a guy who fucks his stepsister.
Yeah, but...
and then finds out that it's his stepsister.
But I think the part that pisses me off is that the manga frames it so that you should take it seriously.
Yeah.
It's like, it frames
everything
it
has
as...
to be, like, so serious.
Yeah, it tries to frame it as, like, a really serious, like, human drama, like, soap opera type of thing. But everything they do and say, I'm just like, this is a comedy skit.
That's what I love about it, though. It's like the perfect mix of, okay.
This fucking scene that pissed me off so much. I'm like, you literally just went through a traumatic breakup after your fucking brother.
Like, I go on a rant here.
Everything you've just heard is why I love this series. Why I love watching people read this series so much. It's because there are so few series where you can get people to have such a visceral reaction where they're just like, I fucking look at this. Look at this shit.
Look at my facial. This is my reaction to when I saw this scene. Just because I wanted to. I just wanted to know how viscerally I reacted to this. Isn't this okay? No.
Okay.
Oh my God. Oh no, the other part.
Oh, the suppository.
The suppository.
What the fuck was that, God?
I couldn't fucking believe that scene. I was like,
I couldn't believe that scene when I first saw it.
I was like, okay, they're setting it up to be like hee hee ha ha funny like ecchi moment. Yeah. And then he actually does it. And then he's just like, oh thank God I didn't get hard. Like, the hell is wrong with you, bro?
I just like take it in. I just like go back.
This is
shaking your head.
Oh my God! This is
I remember
everything I hoped for. This one.
So
I want to see your reaction to this one. All right, let's see.
Oh, you're reading in your head, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh my. That's awful. Oh.
It's just so bad.
It's just like,
I
bro.
get so angry.
Yeah.
You are filth. You are filth. I want nothing to do with any of you. I hope you return to the earth you came from.
And
I just got so angry. I got
Yeah.
so angry.
Oh,
Yeah,
I hate it. I hated it.
Yeah.
And yeah, what I will say is that, you know, that's what I fucking love about it. You know, anger, you know,
It's the worst thing I've ever read in my life.
Anger is still an emotion, and just like there are a few series like Domestic Girlfriend.
Okay, hang on a second. You can't use that argument because I've used the exact same argument for School Days, and you're like, that's bullshit.
Also, School Days was boring for like most of it. Let's be honest, Joey. It only really got like super spicy in like the last 3 episodes where he started fucking everyone, and then before that he was just a fucking little wetbag being like.
Natsuo is a fucking
He is a
wetbag as
wetbag.
well.
He's a
No, he's a wetbag, but like the thing about Domestic Girlfriend is that, bro, reading
Domestic Girlfriend is like rewatching the last episode of School Days over and over and over again.
That's it. That is what makes it such a fucking roller coaster of a ride.
Have you even heard of a suppository being used nowadays? Why do they just have one?
I mean, it's
lying
more
around?
common in Japan. To be
Yeah,
fair.
it's much more common in Japan.
Whomst? Why?
It
You'd
becomes-
be
Shit in
surprised
our
how
ass.
many fucking suppository scenes I've seen in anime.
Yeah.
man. far too many.
I've
It's
seen
what-
I played way too many eroges that use suppositories.
Yeah.
It's like actually like worrying.
Yeah. See,
I'd die.
this is the thing, right? This is the thing that I find super interesting, because we've talked about Domestic Girlfriend for like fucking 15-20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like not once have you guys been like visibly upset about like the incest part, because that's
Oh no, that's the least of my worries.
yeah, exactly, right? Everyone
Is it incest?
Huh?
Is it incest?
It's not blood related.
listen, listen. It's not blood related. You know, I mean, like, I'm not concerned about that.
Hey, I didn't say that. Hey,
You know, it's,
the
if it's-
domestic girlfriend effect, everyone.
It's-
I think it would have been a different case if they had
Yeah.
became stepsisters and brothers and then done it.
Yeah.
So I think they laid it out in a way that made you feel
I don't know,
like-
man. I have a suspicion that's exactly what's gonna happen.
What do you think about the scene where Hino catches Rui kissing Natsuo?
What the fuck was the fuck was his scene where he kissed her when she was drunk on the couch?
Oh
The
my
gun-
god.
That was the most cringe-inducing thing I've ever read.
Yeah, he was like,
Where
oh,
she's passed out on the couch.
yeah,
and he's like,
and he phrases it like, I'm gonna end this once and for all. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you about to do? Stop.
yeah, and he's like, I just gotta give her a kiss. You're like, oh my.
Oh, what did you think? Okay,
Okay, and the scene where they kiss is like, but like, what was so frustrating about that is that,
Yeah.
like, again, he just admitted his love to her, to his older sister,
Yeah.
Sucha. He then just goes with this whole Momo thing, kind of
Yeah.
saves himself. He's like, all right, crisis averted. That's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
a bit, probably not great, but
Yeah.
you managed to avoid it.
Yeah.
And then his sister goes, can I have a kiss? And he's like, all right. And then it's like, why? It's so annoying. Because like he works.
Yeah, it's like he saves himself and then he's like, whoops, just shot
Yeah,
myself
like
again.
he says he he loved Sensei, always loved her,
Yeah.
and then immediately clearly does the absolute opposite of what that would look like. So not only can you not trust this guy because everything he says is a fucking lie, for some reason he just can't help himself and he just kisses everyone all the fucking time.
And he just can't keep his lips away from
And then
any woman.
the sister who's just like, yes, and she's like, can I have another kiss? And he's like, all right. And then he's like, maybe we should stop. He's like, but I like kissing. And then you're like, why?
You know, actually, now that I think about it, you know who's the only character that I actually had sympathy for? Natsuo's friend, who has to hear all
Yeah,
this
he
bullshit.
listens to the shit. And he's like here, letting an ear being like, shit, that sounds crazy. That sounds weird though.
Yeah. And he's like constantly trying to teach Natsuo, being like, hey,
Don't do that.
maybe you shouldn't pursue that. Maybe you're getting yourself in a bad situation. And Natsuo's like, yeah, but you're a virgin. What do you know? And I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you, bro? Like,
He's actually the worst.
Natsuo is actually one of the worst main characters I've ever read. And that's saying a lot.
I don't think.
Bro, this has been so much fun.
I don't think that it's so weird because reading it, you're like, there's no way that like
This could get worse.
This can get worse.
Yeah.
But like also like I feel like it's such a misunderstanding of male horniness. I mean, male horniness is so weird to begin with, but like I mean, as much as I want to be like that, dudes wouldn't do this.
Yeah.
There's absolutely dudes.
Oh
that
no,
would do
there
this.
are absolutely
there
dudes that
are.
would do this.
Yeah.
I
And it's like, but I
100% believe
don't
that.
want to hear about those dudes. I don't want to see those dudes.
Well, this is like
They belong in the streets.
We do not claim them.
like I said, this is a story about just the worst possible situations you can think of, and then it gets worse, and then just as you feel like, oh, maybe he can fix the problems, it gets he finds himself in an even deeper problem, and you'd like I remember when I read this, it was just a binge read because I just wanted to see how messy could this get? How fucking messy could this entire thing get? And it just never stops. Right up until the end. Right up until the end.
Was it finished?
It's finished now. It's finished.
How many volumes is it?
I don't remember. Can you double check how many volumes are there? But like
20 odd something.
the ending of Domestic Girlfriend had me there are a few manga that can get me like to fucking 28 that can get me to like scream out loud. I remember finishing Domestic Girlfriend and I was just like fucking screaming. I could not believe what I was reading. It was like I finished it at about 2 a.m. Sydney was like dead asleep and she had an important shoot the next day and I felt a bit bad, but also I woke her the fuck up so she could listen to like my half an hour rant about what I just read. and it is and
Awful.
I'm addicted to this shit, man. This is seeing people's reaction to Domestic Girlfriend is the shit that I live for because it is there are, you know, we've talked about a lot of things on this podcast, a lot of things we liked, you know, and it's just like yes, I enjoy this part of the game, I enjoy this part of the movie, but there is something that is just so fun about just seeing your mates have such a fucking reaction to...
It's so fucked up because out of all the things I think that both you and I consumed, we had the most visceral reaction to this.
Yeah. But, right? You know, it was almost too much for me, though. As much as I want to keep reading, I hated everyone so much that I also don't
It was
really want to...
patience testing. Yeah.
It was, for me, it was really like straddling that line of like, I hate everyone so much in this manga that I don't think I want to continue, but I do want to see where it goes. But the thing is, like, as much as I think that I do want to kind of keep reading it, but I don't think I will.
I don't
It's
think
too much.
I stopped at volume 2. I still do have volume 3 and 4, and there is a part of me that's like, I am kind of curious to know what's going to happen. But this is definitely one of those manga that I cannot binge.
But there's there's less fucking in like Bang Bros. You know what I mean? Like I like this is insane. The amount of fucking they do, or like the amount of kissing.
There's like more cliche drama than all the yaoi manga I've ever read in my life.
Oh no, it's like every cliche dialed up to 10 and just put all like every single chapter. I swear they finish on like a bombshell or some shit like that. Which I think is what makes this series like so hard to put down sometimes because you're like, I know what's gonna happen. Fuck, I know this is gonna go bad. Oh, but I kind of want to see how it turns out though.
And then you're like, all right, let's see how this resolves. And then it resolves, and then it's like, here's another helping.
yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And yeah, to me, this is like...
I can't believe there's 276 chapters of this. I read 16.
40.
Yeah.
40 chapters of this.
To be fair, a lot of the messiest parts are when he's in high school because we go straight up to fucking university and all that shit as well. And he gets his university arc and things are still messy, but
he's less stupid in university, I assume.
He's a little bit less stupid. And
Blood has been stupid for like 5-6 years straight.
It's Domestic Girlfriend. To me, there are actually genuinely good moments of like character writing later on in the manga. It sounds like I'm capping.
Yeah, Garn. Garn. You might not believe this, but I don't believe you.
Yeah. But I am being genuinely serious. But Yeah, at the beginning, this was more of just I'm going to read Domestic Girlfriend because I want to see how big this car crash can go. And
yeah, you got a car crash.
Yeah, you got
a highway pile up.
Yeah, you really do.
And I realized, this, I was like, I couldn't understand for the longest time why people watch shit like 90 Day Fiance, why other
It's just that,
other reality TV shows, and I read this and I was like, oh, I get it. I get it. It's like you see people in a doomed situation and it's doomed and you know how it's going to play out, but you're just fucking curious. You're just morbidly curious to see how it, how it really goes down.